from SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California. This is the NFL on EA Sports. As we'll see Matthew Stafford and the Los Angeles Rams taking on Zach Wilson and the Tennessee Titans.
It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Tennessee Titans and the Los Angeles Rams. Changed since these two met in Super Bowl 34, and off we go between the Rams and Titans. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. They'll be led out by their quarterback in his 13th NFL season now. It's Matthew Stafford.
And Matthew Stafford was taken first overall in the 2009 draft, and he certainly played like a top pick. Throughout his career, he's been one of the most prolific passers in the league, and there's no reason to believe he's going to slow down his production anytime soon. Not only that, he's also one of the tougher quarterbacks in the league as well.
Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Callahan. So here comes the Titans offense. They'll start with great field position. They're led by the number 2 overall pick in April's draft from BYU, the rookie Zach Wilson.
And what he's thinking about right now is first down, let's find a way to make a big play. Because when you get a sudden change situation and that defense has to rush onto the field unexpectedly, you might catch them having a defensive breakdown or not quite prepared.
And it was really sudden after the first play picked off. Wilson's throw here complete into the hands of Ertz. That catch good for only a couple.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
Now after the run by Bell, here's another 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. Over the middle, that's caught by Chase. And they'll get this down to the 10.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover. And they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
First and goal, a chance to convert that early turnover into points. Here's Wilson. And it's caught. Nice gain of 8 that time, and it's 2nd and goal.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Good yardage on first down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? Bell. And he will take this one in for a Titans touchdown. Le'Veon Bell from 2 yards out. And the Titans are on the board first on the road here in L.A. Just power football there down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible, but all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
Graham Gano on for the extra point. And this is good. Our score, 7-0 Tennessee. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it ends with a Le'Veon Bell touchdown run. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Matthew Stafford and the rest of the Rams offense set to take over once more. And he'll need to find a way to shrug off the opening drive, if you can even call it a drive. One play and an interception, so he's got to forget that.
I know that in today's football, we have a good number of coaches who don't look at time of possession the way that the old school guys did, but there's still a place for it. And I think that on this drive, after having thrown that interception, they're going to want to eat up a little bit more clock and run some offense and give their defense a little bit of a break.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now it's Stafford. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Cooper Kupp was his intended target. And it's 3rd down. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly.
Pressure comes, and the Titans able to bring him down. Myles Garrett in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sack.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
So on 4th down, here's Johnny Hekker to punt it away. Back deep, the former All-Pro Tyler Lockett. Skirts by him at the 35. That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And it'll be Titan football. The Titans coming back onto the field for their 2nd drive. They have to be thrilled with that first drive that got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Now it's Wilson. He lets it fly for Lockett and unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
And this is what you want to see from a defense. Give up an opening drive touchdown, that's fine. But how about them going back out there, recommitting themselves to the task at hand, and forcing a 3-and-out and giving the ball back to their offense?
On is the punter, Cook, who sends it away. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. The Rams offense now making their way out to take over. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. Now Stafford. They'll set up the screen here to Akers. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40.
And that was a beautifully executed screen pass. They let the rushers get upfield and get the escorts in front, meaning the offensive linemen, other blockers out in front, completed the pass beautifully. So now you've got all that open space with big guys leading the way.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Here's the first carry of the game for Cam Akers. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, sometimes as a running back, you've got to be able to improvise when the hole's not where you expect it to be. But in this case, there wasn't any improvisation that he could do that was going to work. Kind of like if you're trying to be a comedian on open mic night at the Improv and you run into a tough crowd.
The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
Well, we're pretty early in this contest, and with one interception already thrown, when that ball was tipped in the air, I think he had to be wondering, could this be a second one, and was already battling in his mind how to handle it. Fortunately, that ball fell incomplete, and now he gets a chance to atone for what could have been a big error.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. Titan defense steps up here, and down he goes. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th. And, partner, it's safe to say that the secondary really contributed to that sack.
Yeah, nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They covered everything, nowhere to go with the football. But my question is, why didn't he throw it away?
Here's Johnny Hacker now as he'll punt it away for the second time. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Returnable for Lockett. That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Titans set and ready to go on offense. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell.
Offense.
What was that, Russ?
Final 30 seconds of this first quarter, and it's been a quarter dominated by the guys with the football. Here's Wilson. And His throw here's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. Now Wilson. And he'll get this underneath to Bell. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. Short completion, just 4 yards. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. We always hear a lot of veterans on the defensive side of the football. They talk about smelling blood in the water, putting pressure on a rookie. They got to him there to force it free, but couldn't recover it.
And you mentioned the pressure. Rookie quarterback, you're going to bring more pressure at him at all times because you don't know how he's going to hold up. He was fortunate there. Luck was on his side, able to recover that fumble.
Here's Sam Cook now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Oh, that's just not fair, and now room to run. A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back. And the Rams are going to start this drive in great field position as they take over. Get a look at this offense led by Cooper Kupp as they make their way back onto the field. Looking down at the stats here, realizing he has no catches. They've targeted him twice, but no catches. So how do they get him more involved, Charles?
You make sure he touches it on routes that he likes to run. Maybe even run a reverse or some type of a jet sweep so he gets his hands on the ball and get him active and involved in the game. You just try and find ways to get him going, and it doesn't have to be something that's big downfield.
Maybe kind of like in basketball, just a shooter seeing the ball go through, you get him a rep, get him more comfortable.
I agree with that totally. Maybe set that solid screen and give him an easy look.
Well, to this point, no catches. Off the fake to Akers. Here's Stafford. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Myles Garrett able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front seven defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Stafford going to give this to Akers. Only 2 yards on the carry. That's going to set up a 3rd and long. 3rd and 15 to be exact. Throwing is Stafford. Throw right side, taken in by Godwin. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Brandon, a good idea there on 3rd down. Run a little clear out and hope you get your receiver the ball coming across the formation. Nice design, but well played defensively, and they stop him well short.
So now the Rams send out the field goal team here. From the right hash, it's a 38-yard attempt. Gay's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So the margin shrinks there as they get the field goal to draw them a bit closer here in this second quarter.
Yeah, nice snap, nice hold. They just want to keep this game close, so give them credit for finishing that one off with 3.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. And we put our focus now on Le'Veon Bell. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, trying to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. To throw is Wilson. Caught by the tight end, Ertz. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. Now a first down carry by Bell. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It was JPP that time, Jason Pierre-Paul, who got in there to blow that play up.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Behind the chain, 2nd and 13. Back to the ground, this time with Gurley. Just a loss of a yard there, but it's not going to help. Now they face a 3rd and 14. 2 minutes to play in this first half, 7-3 our score. In just a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Orlando and our good friend Jonathan Coachman. Coach will run through some of the numbers and the next-gen stats from this first half of football so far. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Tennessee. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. And now let's look at the quarterback, Matthew Stafford, in our player spotlight. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
That's a good-looking play to me. The big tight end on a crossing route coming underneath. Sometimes he can gain some serious momentum going forward, can he?
Yeah, he can indeed, and pretty well executed there. Meanwhile, Stafford's throw on target to Godwin here. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40.
Second and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a first down.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And the open receiver, it's Robert Woods. 7 yards, the pickup there. Stafford barking out signals and trying to get his guys set quickly. Here's Stafford now on second down. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
And partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Stafford. He'll get this to Akers out of the backfield. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Johnny Hacker now as he's on to punt for L.A. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away.
You rarely call your punter a weapon, but he certainly was there. How about that? Pinning him down at the 1-yard line and helping out the defense in a big way. I'm telling you what, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I might be thinking safety right now.
Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. He probably wants to improve how he's been playing. There's no doubt about that. But you don't want to overthink it too much and reinvent the wheel when your team's up, right?
That's so true. Because now if you're just worried about how you're playing, even though the team's winning, that's a selfish side of you that you don't want out there. And that's not what the best quarterbacks exhibit. So here's an opportunity to go ahead and guide the team, try and get better as the game goes along. But remember, your team's winning. Things are pretty good.
Yeah, they've got the advantage. We'll see how he does personally here this drive. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. A give to Bell. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. A give to the fullback on the dive. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Here's Sam Cook now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And he'll just punch it out of there, and it's not a great kick. Shifts by him. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
Now the Rams about to go on offense one final time in this first half. And we'll see how aggressive they want to be in these final stages before the half.
On 1st and 10, Stafford.
They'll check this down to Akers out of the backfield.
That catch good for only a couple. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
All things considered, a pretty good kick. Just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck. And unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
And he'll take this from 147-yard line to the other. A gain of 6. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This to equal Matt Prater's record. It's a 64-yard attempt. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is. So that would have been something from that distance, but to no avail. Comes up empty as we have reached the intermission. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome, everyone, to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This game's had a little bit of everything thus far, and certainly plenty to look forward to, as the teams are right back out there for the second half. So we'll get right back out there as well, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Gaudin.
Titans hold the lead, and they'll get the football first as the third quarter gets underway.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23.
Now whistles, and we've got a man down. A man down here following the kickoff. While the traders take a look, we'll step aside. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. The second half starts with a carry by Bell. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start, here's another 1st and 10. Throwing is Wilson. Left side complete to Lockett. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Looking to throw again on second down. Wilson. Quick slant caught by Chase. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle is going to be made at the Rams' 34-yard line.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 34. From the shotgun, Wilson. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Wilson. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
The Rams calling on their nickel set here defensively for 3rd down. Now Wilson. And a throw there going to be incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out. And Gano's kick is right through. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. Now the attention turns back to the Rams offense as they get ready for their first possession of the 2nd half.
And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the 2nd half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
Stafford's throw here hauled in by Kupp. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Now a play fake it at Stafford. This is caught. It's Woods. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. Throwing again at Stafford.
That's into the hands of Akers, complete.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on 1st down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're either throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Stafford, and he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30.
Well, we can talk about it like it's just a basic route, but how about the timing on this one? Lined up on the right, runs a deep in route, and how about the throw? Right on the money. Bam, puts it right in there and on his hands. Nice completion, really good pickup.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Stafford now to throw. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
I didn't like the look of that play right from the beginning. I thought he should have seen the coverage that was there, tried to force it in. That one, he's fortunate, just fell incomplete.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, here's a give to Akers. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the 2nd level.
From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. Open man has got it. It's complete. And he is going to have a Rams first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we say it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Took till the 2nd half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11.
They'll run out of the gun with Akers.
And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
They'll go again here with Akers.
And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So they need 6 yards here on 3rd down. They're 2 for 2 on 3rd down tries so far on this drive. Back to throw, Stafford. Open man right side is Kupp, complete. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the 1st. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Desperation time for Stafford on 4th down. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. No luck for the Rams as they fail here on 4th down. And this long drive is going to wind up yielding nothing. So they finally get their first trip to the red zone, and it ends with nothing.
And that's what I'm going to focus on with you, because you teed it up really well. Finally get to the red zone. So there's got to be a little bit of frustration because they haven't moved the ball as well as they wanted to all game. Now they get there, but we got to go for it because we don't know if we're going to get back here again. We don't know how many opportunities because they've been sputtering a little bit.
Absolutely. At this stage in the second half, to get there and not get it for the first time, tough. They'll start out on the ground with Bell. And now where are they going to mark him here? Well, they say he did get back to the 1-yard line, but that could have easily been 2 points the other way. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
And able to get it across the 10 to the 15. 45 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And now they have a little more space to maneuver from the 15, 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. This is Bell on the dump off. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. They'll try and run some clock now with Bell. And he's got room. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down.
But they didn't accomplish their goal. They didn't get a stop there, gave up another 1st down. They have all 3 timeouts in their pocket. I think defensively you've got to start thinking about using them here.
I was just going to ask you at what point you think now's the go time?
I think now's the go time. I don't think you sit back and wait because they can take a lot of time off the clock between plays and run 3 to 4 and really put you in a stressful spot.
2 first downs have them up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. Play action. Now Wilson. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And it's a Titans touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 59 yards.
And the Titans use the big play to extend their 4th quarter lead.
They have to love seeing that from their young quarterback here in the 4th quarter, able to further that lead with a touchdown pass.
He didn't go turtle, did he? And you know what I mean by that. I had an old coach used to say all the time, hey, when we have a lead late, don't just tuck in and try and ride it out. Go out and play and extend the lead. And that's what he did.
Gano for the extra point. It's up and good, and that makes it 17-3. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it ends with a Tennessee score. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. Taking it about the 1. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. And the LA offense ready for this next possession. Now a first down throw. Stafford. Pressure comes, and the Titans able to bring him down. Rashaan Evans, the linebacker, recording the sack there.
Boy, that's tough, Charles. First play of the drive, you're hoping to stay ahead of schedule. You take that huge sack, and now you're facing 2nd and a mile.
And the entire time, you were probably thinking the same thing I was. Either get rid of the ball, safely, of course, or go down. The yardage he gave up on that play, that's going to be tough for them to make up.
A lot of ground to cover. 2nd and 22.
Another try after the first down sack. Stafford. That'll be caught. It's Kupp. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for 3rd down.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on 1st down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
Stafford going to give to Akers on the draw.
And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. He's going to let it fly. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Titans, they've got the football back, and they've got it in great field position. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none.
Yes, exactly right.
Tennessee offense set to go again.
And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. They'll run on 1st down. It's Bell, and he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They'll go again with Bell. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their 2nd. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. The Rams going to be forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. When that ball popped free, we could hear it all the way up here. Those guys down on the field alerting everyone of the fumble. He's lucky that his offensive mates picked him up and jumped on it.
Yeah, and you have to think to yourself, and I'm sure they've been echoing it on the sideline and into the huddle. Guys, we have the lead. Just take care of the football. Don't make it easier for them to start to make a comeback.
The good news, they kept the ball. Bad news, it's 3rd and long.
The give is to Bell. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. So now the Titans are going to call upon their field goal unit here. This to make it a 3-score game late. Gano's kick is good. And that'll push the lead up to 17.
So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is